It must be below zero. And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for a Netflix original movie that dropped today. It's called Below Zero. Let me know in the comments below, have you heard of this? Were you excited to watch this? What is your favorite themed film on Netflix at the moment to do with cold weather or just the cold? For now, give me a thumbs up and let's jump into the review. On a lonely road, a prisoner transport is brutally assaulted. Martin, the policeman who was driving, survives and fortifies his position while the con men search for a way to finish him. I like little films like this that pitch up on Netflix. I never really know what to expect, and then you watch a little bit of the intro and you're trying to guess as a viewer the whole way through what's going to happen. Sometimes you guess right, sometimes you don't guess right, but for the most part, if it's an adventure, a thriller, you can be along for the ride and just enjoy it. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, and I do feel like it's slightly too long. I think it's maybe an hour and 43. I feel like they could have shaved about 15 minutes off in the middle. There's a little bit of chunk there where we're kind of getting to know the prisoners a little bit, and there's a little bit of interaction that just feels like the tone, the tempo, the pacing seems to drag somewhat. But everything else I thought was really good. The intro to this kind of, not heist, this I guess someone is trying to take down this transport. The transport itself is very interesting. It's like a Fort Knox, similar to a moving prison, and they each have their own cells. There's specialized locks, there's a camera, it has its own heating system and coolant. It's not state of the art, but it is really well fortified. There is one thing I didn't agree with in this prison, in this moving prison, for something that is so well fortified. There is this guy that, minor spoilers, you'll see it in the trailer. There's bullet. Yeah, I can't really do this bit without doing any minor spoilers, so I'm just going to have to go for it and say there's some gunshots that are fired towards this truck, and at one point one of the windows breaks, and I bought that, but then there's a handgun that shoots, and you just don't believe, well, I don't believe that those bullets would penetrate the window, because if you know anything about prison transport trucks, they are at least very bulletproof, especially when they're transporting some of these prisoners. It would be like high valued prisoners, I guess, some of those are in max security, and so the truck that they'd be using would be fortified quite well. The bulletproof glass is normally at least that bulletproof. And so I didn't quite believe that. So there are moments in this film where you have to kind of stick to the side and go, okay, that doesn't matter, let's just enjoy it for what it is. And when you do that, you are going to enjoy it. Apart from, I feel like I'm moaning about this, I didn't really like the protagonist. You don't get much to go with. They don't tell you that much. He's a family man, and that he's the transport, and he's the transport driver, and he kind of just gets thrust in this thing that happens to these guys, these prisoners in this truck. And not until the end did I really like him, which is why I like the film, because there's like a saving redemption. The ending of this film is great. I feel like there's two endings. There's the action climax scene, which was great. You could guess where it's going, but how they do it, I thought it was fantastic. It's filmed well. It's intense. It makes you feel cold. And then there's another kind of ending bit moment where the whole story kind of climaxes, does a reveal thing, which you might not have guessed, and I thought that was fantastic. So as a culmination, as a fruitful ending, you are, I feel, rewarded as a viewer. It's only really some of the middle bits that you might not enjoy in this. It doesn't redefine the genre, but I don't think it needs to. I think in the way it's filmed, in the way it's shot, it's very exciting. It does harken back to similar Hollywood prison escape movies. You have the very cold climate that plays a big part as a character in this, so that's hence the title. You have nice misty roads that really kind of help the atmosphere and drive the movie forward. You have moments of interaction between prisoners and protagonist, and they're always at conflict. So the tension is there, and the cleverness of some of the moments within this prison van, of how they shoot it, how they're going to move along the story. It could essentially be very boring and just, some guys are shooting at us and there's an action sequence and Michael Bay blows up everything. But they don't do that. They do spend some time of being a little bit clever about how that's going to happen. I think the person that you're probably going to feel for most is the person that is trying to attack this prison van, and you think maybe it might be one thing, that it's to do with one person trying to help another person out, or you think, oh, maybe it's this person, or maybe he's just a crazy psycho. So it always keeps you guessing, but towards the end, obviously the story has to be revealed and you understand why. You don't necessarily agree with what he's doing, but you understand why he's doing it. And I think that helps you kind of get on his side a little. So it brings up conundrums of what is right, what is wrong, and how far do you go for vengeance, how far do you go for what is right, how far do you push those lines. And once you start understanding more of that story, I think you'll find it more enjoyable. The story does give you a little bit of information, but for the most part it keeps you guessing towards the end. Acting is fine. I don't think it's going to win any Oscars like best acting performances ever. I thought they were all fine. I don't think there was anybody terrible. There are a few outstanding moments that I thought was really enjoyable. As the film goes along, we will lose some of those prisoners. That is part and parcel with something like this. And the way they go is often gruesome. What I like about the gruesome moments is that there's not a lot of gore, but when they use it to full effect, and it takes you a bit by surprise. So I really like that. I thought all in all it's okay. I just that little bit of dragging in the middle. I would say watching the original language. The dubbing is fine, but if you're watching with subtitles and the dubbing, you'll notice how different the lines of dialogue are to the subtitles. Very different. Often seems like they're saying very different things. So I always suggest watching the original language if you can. It's a nice little one that you can stick on Friday night, exactly perfect for a Netflix viewing today. If you don't mind watching subtitled films, if you don't mind watching, if you do, there is dubbing, and the dubbing isn't terrible, but the story does seem to change slightly somewhat. I always prefer to watch the original. So let me know what you think about this film. What is your favorite cold movie film, and what rating would you give it? I think I'm giving it a C+, teetering between a B-, somewhere in between those two. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.